the podium here. So, it's Olympic time again. I guess I should wait till the music stops. Always rushing. Okay. So it's Olympic time again, and we all love watching the Olympics. And what I realized is that we love watching the Olympics because we all want to be champions. And deep down, we all want to be champions, so we love watching them win. So what is it that separates a champion from an average person? A champion knows who they are, what they offer the world, they believe in their abilities, and they focus on their strengths. This quote from Norman Vincent Peale says it well. Have faith in your abilities. Without a humble confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. We have been created for greatness, and many of us are familiar with Lolo Jones and her Olympian story. And Lolo knows that she's created for greatness so much that she switched to bobsledding after spending years of her life dedicating herself to running, just so she could get her gold. So I never like to tell anybody, I want you to be your best self. And I don't like to say that without giving you a tool to do that. So this is a book that has helped a lot of us leaders in the rooms to discover who it is about us, what it is about us that makes us valuable to this world and helps us to be that champion. It's called Jack Canfield's Key to Living the Law of Attraction. And in this book, you're going to find your strengths, and you are going to find out the key is you. Okay, interestingly, in that book, you are not going to find anything that asks you to list your weaknesses. And it's not because you don't want to know them, or because if you ignore them, they'll go away. But it is because you don't want to focus on your weaknesses. I learned this firsthand. I was stuck in my business and I felt frustrated. And so I really wanted to have a breakthrough, and I decided that I was going to get to work on me, because we all know it all starts with us, right? And so I set out to work on me, and I kind of looked at what my weaknesses are, and I decided that I was going to work on my weaknesses. So I decided that I was going to take my free and creative, slightly undisciplined self, and I was going to turn myself into a systematic and routine person. Very quickly, things got much worse. And I felt very depleted, and I really was at the point where I wanted to give up. It was a very painful experience. So I learned after that it takes 10 times the energy to do something that you're not good at rather than something that you're good at. And so what I had done is I completely depleted myself trying to be something that I wasn't. Now, I could not change my nature, but I had to find a way to be successful in spite of my weaknesses. You have to be aware of your weaknesses just enough to find a way around them so that they don't hold you back. So, I'm forgetful. My husband will tell you this. So I set myself alarms so that I don't forget. I'm easily distracted by life, so I have to take more time to plan ahead. I'm disorganized, so I've created my own systems of chaos, organized chaos. And I'm messy, so I married a neat husband. And like Olympians, we are all here striving to be our best. And here with Leah Sophia, we have found a place to belong, to matter, and to shine. And even better, we get paid to do it. Yeah. So admire and be inspired by the champions around you, but never compare yourself to anyone. No one here has the same gifts as you, and no one else has the same circumstances. You are unique, and your goals and your race is individual. This is not a competition amongst us. Here we get to overcome and become our best self. And comparing yourselves to others is only a distraction. And many times it will lead you to stumble and fall. When an Olympian is running a race, they do not look to the left or to the right. They stay focused on their power, and they do everything to their abilities. Lolo Jones says, "My failures have always inspired me. When I overcome my doubts and I accomplish what I accomplish, there is no greater joy in life. So reach for the top, but enjoy the journey along the way." Lolo trained for years. She put in the work, and no matter how long it takes her to get that gold, her victory is going to be sweet. So we do have to put in the work day after day in this business, like an Olympian that has to train day after day. It can get mundane and hard, and sometimes you forget why you're doing it. Don't get so caught up in the doing that you forget who you're being. And don't lose your joy for the sake of winning. If you find yourself stuck and weary, then you need to remember that when a door closes, there's always a window open somewhere. And never give up, because if you do, you will never know just how close you got to making all of your dreams come true. Lastly, you are so amazing, and you need to know how amazing you are. And no matter how amazing you are, there will always be critics. So you need to love yourself and be kind to yourself. Over the years, I have been my worst enemy. I was destroying myself from the inside out, and I thought that I was being honest and humble about my weaknesses and who I was. But really, I was just tearing myself down, and I was holding myself from my best. One day, I was in a conversation with Elizabeth Boyd, and I was being negative about myself. I said something negative about myself, and Elizabeth told me, "Don't be so mean to my friend." Nobody had ever told me anything like this, and it set me back a second, and I thought about it, and I realized, she's right, because we can't control what other people say about us, and we can't even control what they perceive about us. But we have 100% control over what we say to ourselves. So I just hope that you'll be kind to yourself. Learn to be your biggest cheerleader and supporter. And I leave you with this. You're amazing. Focus on your strengths and never your weaknesses. Don't compare yourself to anyone, because there's no one else like you. Be mindful of who you are being. Enjoy the journey, and from this day forward, be nice to my friend and keep shining.